Hello everyone, welcome back to Chemically Bonded. Kiyoko's route. Let's go ahead and continue. Chirping, sunlight, cars driving past down the street. The sounds of the morning once again greet me as I slowly raise myself from my heavy slumber. Damn, I'm tired. Aches creep across my skin, deepening themselves within my muscles, a piercing sensation. The pain itself, further waking me, just another reason why I should probably join Naomi in the gym. Then again, maybe Kiyoko can come up with some sort of medicine. What am I thinking? Throughout the thought of these girls on my mind that are just waking up, maybe it proves how closer we've really become. Or maybe I'm just a creep. Either way, it's not like I can avoid it any longer. Having spoken to Kiyoko yesterday, her upbeat voice still lingers on my mind, filled with the same sense of happiness I've become accustomed to. Destroying that facade, forcing her to realize what she truly feels, that in itself will break me. However, I can't hold her back from herself any longer. Those deep, chestnut eyes, shining through the glint of her glasses. They still hold Naomi at heart. Today is going to be busy. As the clock continues to tick, I finish up my daily routine, embraced by the sunlight seeping through my window. A morning tranquil idleness, almost idyllic in and of itself. I'm about to go to school, is what I'd say. But unfortunately, I'm not a Moya high school girl. Can't even spare time at breakfast, let alone running out the door with toast in my mouth. Walking through the warm morning air, the sight of the school gates meets me as I look onwards towards a crowd of students filing towards the doors. Sunlight basking all of us, as to be expected on a traditional spring day. As for me, well, I'm basking the apathy of not wanting to attend lessons. Just another traditional thing for cliched high school guys. May as well get going myself. Another day to look forward to. Well, at least, what comes after the class. The melodic drag of lessons rhythmically draining the energy out of me, only for it to be revitalized by her cute and endearing smile. I was never really one for clubs, but somehow her whimsical antics have roped me in. I enjoy spending time with her. Filled with the life of students, amalgamating through the corridors to head towards class, the corridors remain lively as usual. Same similar sounds of chatting, gossip, and banter flowing through walls. Each day something new on the table.
Hey, did you hear about Naomi? I heard she set a new record the other day.
I hear that someone's trying to start out a new club. What was it? Science? Nobody's going to join that. It's run by her. Why would anyone be friends with a fraud?
Synchronicity, or coincidence, the thoughts continue to flow through my head as I pick out each and every drag conversation. Everything pointing towards them. Something that makes me angry. She's not a fraud. I'd appreciate it if you didn't talk about my friend like that.
Since when were you friends with the cheat? I'm surprised this loser even has any friends.
I might not be his friend yet, but I know someone who is. You wouldn't want to upset Naomi Sato, now would you?
Out of nowhere, an almost shirtless student stands out from the idle crowd. Abs striking hard against the air, he looks on to the crowd of students who slowly gathered around us. I'm sure the disciplinary committee would have a field day over the guy's adherence to uniform policy.
Shit. He's right. Come on, let's go.
Backing off, the crowd begins to dissipate as I still stand in awe at what had just transpired. Regardless, I can't change the fact that I'm still staring square on towards a pair of glistening muscles first thing in the morning. Thanks.
Why are you so nervous? It was nothing, really. It's nice to meet you. I'm Ken Takahashi. I'm on the athletics team.
Speeding forward with an introduction, the name sounds oddly familiar. Ken continues to stand before me, almost indulging himself in the atmosphere around us. Smiling, yet somehow managing to make himself overly friendly for someone I've just met. It's nice to meet you too, I guess. From far.
Don't worry, I know all about you. She talks about you a lot.
Naomi?
Yeah, for someone like her, all I can say is good luck. If any of those creeps try coming after you, I've got your back.
It's not like that. And I just met this guy.
Is lingering around class the best kids these days can do?
Booming out from behind us, a familiar voice reaches my ears as I turn to face a suited man now before us. Our duo, now a trio.
Ah, you're that new teacher, aren't you?
It's Mr. Kabir to you.
Ah, that's right. Mr. Yamamoto retired. It's fair to say that we have economics this morning. However, with a solemn gaze directed towards us, it's clear that there are other problems which need to be dealt with.
I see you've taken to befriending troublemakers.
Sweeping his eyes in my direction, Mr. Kabir looks on sternly as he quickly everts then back towards Ken. Still standing there without any real care, surprisingly.
Troublemaker? Nah, that's not me.
What about your lack of consideration for a proper uniform then?
It's not harming anyone.
It's harming the social conduct of ordinary school life.
I can't help but feel that I'm watching the fabric of a good old telling off being woven. Nevertheless, Ken still idles with a smile as Mr. Kabir continues to steelly address him. A cold set of eyes, looking on towards the least phased person I've ever met.
Do you really think uniform like that is acceptable?
I don't know what you mean by social conduct, but it's an alright setup, you know? It's getting warmer, so I have to keep him cool.
Pointing towards the lower end of his chest, Ken beams yet another smile as people within the classroom begin to chat away. It sure is an ample distraction from having to do work. I had to give him credit. It's not like I'll be able to slip away from this either.
Save that attitude for the gym. I really don't want to spend my time dealing with you.
You know I will. I'm always trying to outbench myself.
Just go to class. Both of you. I'd rather spend my time teaching.
Walking back into the room, Mr. Kabir lets off an apathetic aura. Enough so that his presence simmers down the once lively class. I should probably head inside too.
I'll see you around. Have a good one.
Letting off nothing less than a small wave, Ken's smile makes up for it as he walks backwards down the corridor in an act of farewell. Despite being a little odd, I can't help but owe him one for sorting out the situation back there. Kiyoko, staunchly attacked by her classmates, all while probably fiddling around with a pencil as she sits docilely behind the wall. It's a shame to think that those feelings of contempt for her still linger around the school, despite not being the one to blame. I can't help but think of what Naomi says about me either. Prior to the typical chiming the bell, class erupts into chatter as the marking minute's end comes to fruition. After economics was a short stint of geography headed by the only teacher on the roster that the guys actually pay attention to, Miss Sasaki herself. Sparing the details, I rise from my seat with a mild stretch, soothing the stiffness which grasps my muscles. Being around two energetic people all the time really puts it into perspective how worn out I normally am. Kiyoko almost powered by her own reactions, filling every day with a pronounced sense of vigor I haven't experienced since middle school. As for Naomi, she doesn't hold her lively attitude, at least when it comes to insults. Now standing in the midst of the class, my head pans over the remaining students in the class. As usual, a chirpy smile greets me from the other side of the room as she makes her way closer to me. Kiyoko. Lips curl up into a trademark smile, her brown eyes flash against the sunlight sweeping the room, an image of spring caught up against her hazel irides. I'm guessing she wants to head to the cafeteria. It is lunchtime after all.
Hey, I need your help.
Or with. Did you forget your lunch money or something?
What? No. I want to do research. It's an important part of science. It's how discoveries are made.
Now looking somewhat stern, Kiyoko pats an annoyance as I continue to look on towards her, somehow holding a blush against the soft pale skin of her cheeks. What?
What?
I still can't tell what exactly is going on. You know I'm not good at science. Can't you just wait until the club? There needs to be an earthquake for my stomach to rumble harder.
That's the thing. I want to research lunch. There's a new sandwich on the menu. I want to check it out.
What is it this time? 100% Welsh chicken? Okay, and that's research how?
Because I said so. Sheesh, you're no fun.
Pouting once again, it appears to me that Kiyoko is finally starting to reveal her feisty side.
Anyway, you coming to lunch with me? We'll do the real research later.
Taking hold of my arm, Kiyoko apparently has no qualms with dragging me out of the class in front of fellow students. Reflecting on the ordeal from earlier, I can't help but feel glad that I'm friends with her. This girl before me, hair swaying as a result of her paced steps towards the corridor, all the while smiling she looks back towards me. There's no way in hell she's a fraud. This is Kiyoko Ishikawa. Nothing is going to change that. Joining Kiyoko in the cafeteria, I know our busy school life accompanied by the smell of sizzling food wafts around us as she continues to pull on my arm. I don't really know how fierce these new sandwiches are, but they're probably nothing compared to the ferocity she's undoing on my wrists.
Come on, they'll be all gone otherwise.
Approaching the relatively short line for food, it doesn't take me long to grab a bite to eat, which doesn't count as an obscure reference. Rice, mixed vegetables, and curry. Doesn't get more generic than this.
I haven't eaten here in a while. I've forgotten how good the food is.
Kiyoko forgetting something? That's an oddity in itself. But nevertheless, I'd always expected her to go somewhere for food. Where do you normally eat?
I bring my own.
Pulling out a small lunchbox from her bag, Kiyoko gleams with joy as she presents it out to me. A cutesy pink plastic box, decorated with little pictures of flasks, atoms, test tubes, and a certain of the type of things people would imagine when you think of science. And you still brought that with you? Even though you planned to eat here from the beginning? Cheeks turning a rosy shade, she averts her eyes away from mine almost to concede the fact that she's easily embarrassed. Her cute side shining through, well, shining through her normal cute side.
I was thinking we can share it later. I'm not made of money. Only oxygen, carbon, that sort of stuff. Buying food is expensive.
That sort of stuff. I can't help but feel I've avoided a detailed explanation of the composition of the human body. In any case, Kiyoko's cheeks still cling onto the reddish complexion as she finally lowers her hands, eyes now facing forward to address me.
I used to get food here a lot. With her.
What? Naomi? Almost flinching at her name, Kiyoko regresses back to a state of woe I was only introduced to merely days ago. Embraced by the afternoon light, letting her feelings out to me in our very clubroom. What's the deal with you and her anyway? If you don't mind me asking. Tiptoeing around the issue isn't going to solve our problems. I'd probably break her to know what I've heard all from Naomi behind the scenes. But I came into this with a goal. To make her happy. Whatever I think of Naomi, whatever definitions we give each other, none of that matters. Kiyoko's happiness, in turn, is my own. Joining the club would have been a mistake otherwise. I'm not even into science. Averting her eyes once again, Kiyoko mulls in silence as her teeth sink down into her almost glossy lips. A sign of contemplation.
I'm not ready to tell you.
Teardrops hang upon her eyes. The girl before me takes on yet another new tone, showing me the truth she's locked deep within her heart.
It's just painful to think about.
Whenever you're ready, I'm ready. As hard as it is, coercing her into a position to talk about her problems is ultimately the only way to address this problem. To show her the bonds which she's missing, the feelings she's hiding from herself. It wouldn't be like being invited to her house to dinner, only to have her unleash her thoughts upon me. Giving her the simplest solution to tackle the hardest problem is the only right way through this.
It's not like I don't want to.
A quiet, gloomy voice, yet one strangely warm. Despite her unique personality, at the heart of it, Kiyoko is of course an ordinary girl. Her and Naomi, they're the same. Hurt. Feelings of the past dictating their futures. Part of me just wants to find Naomi and make them tell each other how they feel. But within me, I know it'll be better harder than that. Plus, I don't want to start any weird rumors. I'm sure Naomi gets shipped with enough people already.
We should finish up. Lunch will be over soon.
You're right. Still, the feelings within me can't be contained for much longer. I want to help her. I want to see her adorable smile once again. Yet another ring at the bell, yet another signal that class is over for the day. The usual routine, kicking in almost instantaneously. Classmates around me rising from their seats, no regards for our teacher's closing remarks. Sounds of chatter, conversation, flowing through the air as the pent-up social life teenagers live, us crave, or that. Okay. Teenagers live like us crave for is unleashed. Weaving through the bonds of friends and fellows, it's only Monday, With an activity like this, you'd think the weekend had just about started. Joining in the commotion, I too raised from my seat to continue on with my routine. Look around for Kiyoko, follow her merry nature to the science collapse, sit and watch as she sets up something beyond my comprehension. Her slender little fingers jotting down each and every result as she occasionally chews her pen in frustration. That's the Kiyoko I've come to follow.
We can leave for shopping another day. I don't want to bore you. I really had fun today. I wouldn't want to ruin it.
Each and every moment with her truly is fun. And a little cute too. Which all in all makes today's trip a little bit brighter. Kiyoko too seemed pretty keen on doing this. There's no doubt within me to know that she finds it fun too. A carefree yet somehow misunderstood girl and a cliched half-assed guy. What a duet. As much as I could mull over Kyoko's quirks and features, the importance of Naomi's words cast a shadow over the three of us. I want you to help me. It's not like I couldn't imagine the very same words seeping from Kyoko's heart too. The same feeling of isolation. It's truly as she said. It's not like I don't want to. When the time is right, she'll look out to find Naomi too. Still standing in what is slowly becoming an empty room, all I can do now is make my way over to her desk. Still sitting there, fiddling with her equipment as she desperately tries to cram the bulk into a tiny pink case, I make my way to beside her. Like a deer entwined in a moment of fear, Kiyoko scurries her body backwards at a jolt, like her stationary over the edge of the table. An audible clash of noise ensuing as everything and anything smacks against the floor, items rolling off in various directions. Against my usual instinct of apathetically letting something like this go unnoticed, I brace over and gather a assortment of bits and bobs, returning them to the table. You okay? What's with the jitteriness?
I'm not jittery. You just startled me.
Flourishing her words with a rightful pout, Kyogo bats her eyes away from mine as if in angst over her own clumsiness. This type of behavior, coming from her at least, is certainly different, if not odd. I'm sorry? Whether it's the right thing to say, it's all I can really do to ease her unusual feelings. The words themselves don't faze her, still poised with a pout as she puffs her pale cheeks out at me once more, quickly to resume a somewhat normal sense of self.
It's okay. It makes up for me having to clean up that experiment.
Looking back upon that day, I still can't get the thoughts of her panties out of my head. But either way, both accidents were entirely her fault. So we're equal then. Having only met her due to her truancy from class cleaning duties in the first place, the scale of who's cleaned up the most certainly tips in my favor.
I guess. Anyway, we need to get to the club. I forgot to check what we needed.
For someone who's supposed to be smart, you really have a poor sense of organization.
Huh? Is that an insult?
I don't think I was supposed to say that.
You're right, though. I don't really need to think about those things.
It's not like it bothers her much in the end. She knows it's all in jest. For friends. Strolling through the corridor as usual at the end of school's day, Kiyoko scurrying along by my side. We quickly approached the very same doorway through the labs. Even here, the sounds of other clubs reveling in fun and games burst through the halls and the windows. Whilst here, the two of us remained silent. Just the two of us, together. Yuka's hand delicately grips the handle. There was a sense of care put into her actions as she slowly slides open the door. Lights from the windows across the room, shining gently upon her face, her features glowing as they embrace it.
Welcome to the...
Do we really need to do this again? Stepping inside, Kyoko's feet tap against the floor as her head scans the room before it turning towards my own. I can't tell but ruin her fun. It's obvious with the disgruntled look peering towards me. Even though I've only known this girl for such a short time, I'm close enough to have these kinds of friendly quips.
You're an ass.
Or maybe not. Why's that?
I was looking forward to it. But I think I know what we need now anyway. We're ready to go.
Since when did she become Naomi? Such a change in character's unlike you. I didn't know you had it in you. Today, Kiyoko became hard-hearted. Now that'd be a story to tell.
What story? We're going to the city, not the library.
It's not like you can't do both. Continuing with her actions, Kiyoko whisks her lab coat and blazer from their locked position atop a nearby desk, quickly bearing them almost proudly. Fabric flowing down her slender body, so many images flashing in my mind at once. Even then, she's pretty cute.
It's just my lab coat. Stop staring.
But do you really need that whilst in public? Close one. She almost had me.
Of course. Anything that involves science requires a lab coat. It's our uniform. I'll have to buy you one.
You really don't have to. The thought, however, is certainly appreciated. Getting a gift from her would be pretty nice. Actually,
What is it?
never mind. I don't really want people to think I'm cosplaying as a mad scientist, let alone having to walk around while she's wearing one. As cute as she is, wearing something like that in public is still a little strange. Then again, it's her quirks which make her special.
Okay then, let's go.
Grabbing me by the hand, Kiyoko makes an unexpected move as she begins to drag me alongside her out into the corridor. Her skin, smooth and soft, has a tinge of sweat as her warmth radiates out of this hot spring day. Can't believe we're actually holding hands. As we embrace the afternoon light, encompassed by another warmth between our fingers, the outside world greets us as we move through the courtyard. Kiyoko, still holding my hand, smiles as she continues looking onward, an afternoon of fun ahead of her. Meanwhile, I reach into my pocket in response to the chime on my phone, bringing it closer to my eyes. Having to look away from her is disappointing, but checking it won't hurt. I think that's too much to ask for. Cradled by a spring breeze flowing through the train's windows, Kiyoko leans back to relax in the seemingly uncomfortable seats, only to escalate the trepid tension by banging her head against the glass behind her. And that's not only enough to startle her, the surrounding commuters too. Just what do you think you're doing? As it glances at the crowd withdraw their heated nature, her soft fingers smooth over the back of her silky hair. The resulting sway catches against the afternoon light, her gentle motions puppeteering a dance into her otherwise stable coiffure. Life breathed into those strands for a short moment before returning to rest.
I just want to relax. The ride's long, you know?
Maybe you're just impatient. Her spontaneous nature, it's no surprise she's so giddy about getting there. Time continues to pass as Kiyoko and I sit in relative silence to the world around us. A bustling train packed with the afternoon's commuters, rocking us side to side as the wheels skid along the tracks. It's not exactly easy for us to strike up conversation without the world around us shouting us down. Despite that spark inside her, her usual energetic mannerisms seem to have been held back. With as many people so close, I can certainly see why. Flicking my eyes towards her, she still keeps her small body leant back against the seat as her gaze is fixed against her phone screen. Her finger giving gentle swipes as she bites against those of her other hand. A look of thought. Something puzzling you? Even at times, she's bound to come across a conundrum or two of her own. She's only human.
Oh no, I'm just looking for more ideas for more experiments. Ones we can do together.
Having not really involved myself in the science behind the experiments, I still try to lend a hand to her whenever I can. Whenever she needs me, that is, which isn't often. Still, I'm more of a watch cute girls do cute things type of guy, but getting involved couldn't really hurt. And you're doing this online? Not in any research papers or anything?
This is a research paper. It's as academic as you can get.
Kiyoko thrusts her phone towards me with enough force to crack my nose if I was sitting a few inches closer. On the screen lies one of those scanned documents, plastered with jargon and diagrams only someone like her would understand.
Do you two mind being a little quieter? I'm trying to read.
Oh, don't mind us. We're getting off at the next stop anyway.
Ugh.
The response slipping out of my mouth before Kiyoko had a chance to open hers, and Suza shot of disgust on the woman's face. Bringing myself to stand, I clasp Kyoko's arm as she meekly pulls herself up to join me, an apprehensive expression joining her. Moving us through the crowded carriage, I bring the two of us towards the door just as the train comes to a stop. We've arrived in the city.
Thanks for back there.
It's okay. You're reading too, right?
Right.
The attempt to soothe her feelings is a miss. This frail girl behind me still holds my hand tightly, the image before us and the reflection of the door's glass. It's one of a couple. That idea might be a long shot. It's not like I haven't been around her long enough to think about it. Standing in the midst of the world moving around us, Kiyoko and I remain together in the center of the busy city. My hand, despite now being separated from hers, still remained clenched as I cling onto that feeling. So with the same scenario as before, spending time with Kiyoko in the city, I can't help but feel that sense of deja vu all within my mind. Trying to go about this with that nagging thought of me fixing her disheveled relationship with Naomi at the back of my head. Really, despite Naomi's pressure, I really would rather just have fun with her. Kiyoko, as evident as she's proved it to be, really does find hanging out fun. I wouldn't want to ruin it for her. When she's ready to forgive Naomi, she'll say it about herself. the feelings inside her will come to fruition. Now looking towards me with bright eyes, Kiyoko takes no steps to hide her wide smile as her cheeks redden in a flushed state of excitement.
Come on, aren't you excited?
Turning her gaze, it really does seem like she's enjoying this.
I know shopping for stuff like chemicals isn't really that fun for you. After all, it was your idea to come here. But I promise I'll make it up to you. I'll buy you a coffee, anything, since you're my friend.
I don't know, a glass of orange juice might be nicer instead. Even if she has the wrong idea, I am enjoying myself. It wouldn't be too bad to take her up on the offer. Spending extra time with her, that is.
But I was going to get one.
May I just have to have matching drinks? She smiles, giving me yet another glimpse of her apparently never-ending cuteness. It's endearing. For as long as we've known each other, it may come as a surprise for us to be this close. Yet, I can't complain. Rather, I'm enjoying it. Having set off with her on this trip, I really do feel we're becoming better friends. Yet there's still unanswered questions left on my mind. The real issues now are her bonds to Naomi. That's what I promised to sort out. With Kiyoko before me, we sit together at a table at the local cafe. 2 drinks, both orange juice, before us sit ice cold. Trickles of water sliding down the side of the glasses. Looking around me, the cafe itself seems rather docile for a typical Monday afternoon. The image of commuters, office workers, and the regular urban crowds after a quick fix of caffeine floats around my mind. Yet the atmosphere is sparse, as if we were cut off from the outside world. Kiyoko sits on the chair in front, eyes glistening in the sunlight as she peers into her bag intently. Inside, an assortment of bits and bobs, vials and bottles, gathered from the dusty shelves of the chemical place, or so she called it. For such a store to be profitable in this day and age, or with online shopping, really is a mystery. The old guys inside seem to know Kiyoko though. It wouldn't be that surprising if she's kept them afloat.
With these, we can finally do more experiments.
She takes a sip of her drink, pressing her lips around the flimsy plastic straws provided to us. The scene before me, striking back to our outing only days ago, except now Carrie's nowhere to be seen.
Just tastes great.
It's only orange juice.
But it's good for you.
She's right about that. As she continues sipping, we fall back into state of silence to be met by the sounds of the city once again. The sounds of a kettle brewing behind us, those of other customers chatting gently away. It's all a mellow melody played for us as we both take the moment to indulge in our thoughts. As I continue to watch her, Kiyoko's eyes meet mine as she returns a gaze of conviction.
You wanted to know about Naomi, right?
Is it really that obvious? Just a little bit is all. A big understatement for a big task. Naomi herself set me out on this quest. All I'm doing is helping her. Despite her sassy personality, having saw her face reduced to tears really struck a chord. She might seem like she's in a league of her own, but it takes a lot for a girl to let a guy see them like that.
Really?
It's just because she's quite popular. Well, with being the track star. But we don't need to go into it. Kiyoko too is quite famous around the school. Having the smart girl be at odds with the sporty one, it's quite cliché.
Right. I have something to tell you.
Pointing her eyes downwards, Kyoko's expression is visibly changed from one of carefree joy to that of sorrow. Memories brought back, yet one was standing out from the rest.
We just wanted to help her win. We really did. But they found out. We told them it wasn't her fault. They didn't believe us. She was banned from competition and kicked from our club after that.
You know, I've never always been in the science club.
A tale I've heard before, this time coming from the mouth of the one in the center. Kyoko's side of the story. Sadness wells in her eyes, just as so seeping from her voice. This is an image I'd like asked to see, but I knew I'd have to face it with her.
I used to be on the athletics team.
Oh, I didn't know. Blowing the lid on my bargaining with Naomi would be a bad idea, especially because I'm not getting anything from helping her, at least not from her own hands. The only thing I really wanted was to see them happy again.
Well, as you can tell, I don't do that sort of thing anymore.
Kiyoko lifts her eyes on the ground, giving me a clearer view of their now glossy allure, teardrops welling up within them, and never being able to tell what to fall. The only other sign of emotion, quivering her lip as her teeth sink into it. She's trying her hardest to get these words out.
There were rumors. I'm guessing you've heard.
Growing sense of sorrow continues to grow in Kyoko's eyes, looking intently towards me as if waiting for a reaction. All I can do is to give her a nod. A weak response to such a strong aura of woe, hardly comforting. Yet I can't bring the words to fruition. The rumors, of course, I've heard. I have never seemed so apparent until now. Before I knew her, the odd conversation, pieces of gossip, all that had made it to my ears. That they were about the tests, about her intelligence. I always thought they were wrong.
They ruined my race. She ruined my race. They made me look like I cheated. That's why it's hard to forgive her.
Cheeks now soaked by a stream of tears, Kiyoko makes no attempt to wipe them away. Her eyes still remain fixed on me. Even in this small cafe, it's hard not to draw attention with a girl in tears before me. I need to talk to her. I think you're right. I can understand why it's hard to forget something like that.
You can?
It's not as if Naomi's actions were thought out. The plan to help Kiyoko win wasn't the brightest of ideas. It's probably why Kyoko's the smart one. That's right. But I don't think she truly dislikes you. I think it's the opposite. Surely it must be hard for her too. She was your friend, right?
But why do you think that?
For the first time, the signs of anger fill Kyoko's voice as she shouts out the question. I can't blame her. She's gone through a lot. Because if it wasn't, she'd be pretty heartless. You cherished your relationship. I think she would too. Her eyes are turned downwards, still moist with the stream of tears now flowing down her reddened cheeks.
It's not unreasonable, but I'm going to take some time to think about it.
Finally wiping away her tears, Kiyoko takes the final sips of juice as I stare towards my distorted reflection in the glass. It's strange to think so much has happened from our first encounter. Walking into a girl engrossed in the new world she'd built for herself to escape the pain. A world separate from her past. I only had to bring that back for her. Besides, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Naomi. I'm going to have to talk to her again. Sorry about bringing it up again. I can't help but feel awkward about it.
It's okay. You can give me the money back for the drinks. Then we're even.
Despite minutes of low spirits, Kiyoko rebounds with a smug look plastered on her face. The sense of sadness still persisting against her features as she regains her composure.
But you're my friend. I can't hide things from you.
Gulping nervously, and that I've been doing the exact opposite, inspiring Naomi to fix her crumbled relationship, all without her knowing. All it means is I probably shouldn't challenge you in the race.
I'm still a good runner. But I'd rather focus on learning. I want to enter a university. I want to train periodically, though.
I don't get it. Kiyoko's complacent grin turns into one of faux anguish, rearing her cheeks like a puffer fish as she passes on me intently.
It was a pun, silly. The periodic table.
Alright, yeah, I knew that. It was just a tease. We should probably get going anyway. That, and I can still feel the stares of the few people around us after Kyoko's emotional outburst.
Sure.
Seeing her reddened face grazed by the sunlight, I can only consider myself lucky for stumbling across her. To think I'd become this close to Kiyoko Ishikawa, the girl renowned for her intelligence, is really something. Watching her fiddle with the flowing stream of her brunette hair, matched by the look of innocence in her soft eyes, I'm glad I've come to know her. These feelings wouldn't be here if I hadn't.
I thought you were here to join the science.